Sehel, you call your cat. She looks straight at you and stays put. Does she recognize her name or only your voice? McSmallwonder Katzler, walking over would not settle that. Her smallest response might. Same name, 3 scenes. By the food bowl she approaches. In a quiet bedroom, she only looks up from another familiar person, nothing visible. Same word, different responses. The word is not acting alone. Trot with Calamaco's tail, start with one com-com comparison. In a neutral room, say a similar control sound once in a flat voice. Wait, then say the cat's is name in the same voice. The radia in Echo's tail. Write down only what you can see, an ear movement, a head turn, a gaze shift, an approach, or no visible change. This is the first for the word voice. Letter. It is a household observation, not a scientific or diagnostic test. The first rung asks whether the acoustic pattern itself carries weight. T-cells in controlled habituation studies. Cats as a group responded differently to their own names than to other words. But the common responses were small ears moving, heads turning, or attention shifting. So that is narrower than understanding a sentence. It does not prove that every individual cat knows a name, and a home comparison cannot reproduce the study. Hugh's word your control sound should merely be similar in length and rhythm. If the resting state changes more often after the name, record the difference. Do not upgrade it into proof. The second rung is the voice. The companion cats found a response difference between their owner's cat-directed speech and ordinary adulted speech. Kumarko's tail. That difference was not observed in the same way when stranger spoke. 16 cats is a small sample, not a universal tone rule. To hear of your Calameco's tail, at home, compare the same name in your ordinary voice and in the register you normally use with your cat. Change the take all. If the voice changes the response, note that separately from the word. The speaker and cadence may be carrying part of the signal. The third rung is contexty. Let me tell you that the sacred Tlyse dinner beside the kitchen countergator at the usual hour, and the word arrives with Cabintown's posture, location, and expectation. In your Calamaco's tail, say it in a bedroom in the morning with no food movement, and the surrounding signal is gone. Hidaste, but a changed response does not tell you that the cat understands the word. The Ryu Calameco's tail. It tells you the routine may be doing more work than you noticed. The 3. The 3 candidates are clear word, voice, and context. Now separate the response from the decision to move. Is low, cost information gathering. An approach means leaving a comfortable place, crossing the room, and choosing proximity. Those are different behaviors. Petroleum in Miko's tail hair owners often lapsing them into one question. Hey, if she heard me, why did she not come? But recognition does not create an obligation to urge. No approach also does not prove disrespect, stubbornness, weak attachment, or failed recognition. Tassikit, the face and ears before the feet. A cat can visibly orient, remain where she is, and still give you useful information. That single distinction prevents the Q ladder from quietly turning into an obedience test. Read the notebook conservatively. The Tralia Tutel. If the cat orients after the name in a flat voice and neutral room, the word pattern may be contributing. If the response appears only in your familiar cat voice, the speaker or register may matter more. Or if appears only beside the kitchen at the usual time, context may dominate. Most real notebooks will be mixed. Then the biker has pisses that beer that his cat is grooming. Osar core today's energy is different. Mix does not mean failed. It means one household session cannot isolate a cause. Kurlamako say, repeat it only when the cat is calm, vary one layer at a time, and leave unclear available. The goal is not to award a vocabulary score. It is to replace 2 oversized stories. She understands everything and she ignores me on purpose, with a smaller observation you can defend. 3 comparisons give the middle of the episode a real upgrade. First, keep the word and context stable, but change the voice. This 3. Sing pure. Second, keep the voice and context stable, but change the word. Identity mistake sense. For third, keep the word and voice stable, but move away from the normal routine. You are not looking for a dramatic winner. You are looking for which change most consistently the findings alters orientation. Even then, the honest result may be that nothing is stable enough to classify. Korostelpa stop after a few calm comparisons. Repeating a name louder and louder changes the sound, adds pressure, and destroys the comparison. It also turns curiosity into pestering. One cue, a pause, one visible note. That is enough for a household observation. Many orders, but stays puts put as a failed response. That is the owner's mistake, not the cat's. Juvier Calamus tail. It asks two questions at once key. Did she register the sound? And would she do what the person wanted? The first question is about discrimination or association. The second is about motivation and choice. So once those are separated, a tiny gaze shift stops looking like nothing. It becomes the observable event. This does not mean every staker proves recognition. It means you stop discarding a response merely because it was not the response you preferred. To tail. The payoff is not a smarter sounding label. It is a more accurate way to watch your own cat. There is one boundary this ladder cannot handle. If your cat usually turns toward familiar voices or ordinary household sounds and then shows a sudden, broader loss of responsiveness, do not keep running comparisons. A new change across several familiar sounds can have hearing or health causes. That belongs with a veterinarian. Do not lap beside the cat, frighten her, or interpret one quiet afternoon as hearing loss. The concern is a broader change from the cat's own normal pattern, especially when other sounds also stop producing the responses you usually see. So the QSC observations, it doesn't know a hearing cause hearing, emotion, attachment, or intent. Hulolimus goes to tail. So return to the cat who looked at you and stayed put. She may have registered the acoustic pattern of her name. She may have recognized your familiar voice. She may have read the whole routine around the moment. Or the visible response may be too inconsistent to classify. The honest answer is than she understands me, but it is more useful than she ignored me. Try one calm comparison this week. They could use a similar control sound, then the name. Keep the voice steady. Watch the ears and eyes before the feet. Record orientation and approach separately. On another day, change only the voice or only the context. If a pattern appears, describe exactly what changed. Shale. If it does you not kept unclear, your cat does not need to pass a language test for her attention to be interesting. She only needs you to stop asking one behavior to prove 4 different things.